On March 28, 2025, a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck central Myanmar, sending powerful tremors across the region. The epicenter was located near Mandalay at a depth of around 10 kilometers, making a shallow and highly destructive quake.
Whoa!
The seismic event was so intense that it was felt hundreds of kilometers away, causing panic and disruptions in several neighboring countries, including Thailand, India, and China. In Mandalay, one of Myanmar's busiest and most historic cities, the violent shaking caused immediate chaos. Buildings swayed dangerously before collapsing, and many structures suffered severe structural damage. Videos from the scene captured terrified residents running into the streets as aftershocks rattled the city. The power supply was cut off in many areas, and thick clouds of dust rose into the air as debris from century-old pagodas, commercial buildings, and homes crumbled. Roads cracked open, with some areas experiencing sinkholes and landslides, blocking critical highways and disrupting transportation. The Ava Bridge, a vital connection across the Irrawaddy River, partially collapsed, making it difficult for emergency services to reach certain parts of the city. The Yangon-Mandalay railway line was also affected, with sections of the track bending and shifting due to the force of the tremor. Security cameras inside shopping malls and offices recorded ceilings cracking, glass windows shattering, and furniture toppling. In a major shopping center, footage shows people screaming and rushing for the exits as shelves full of goods crash the floor.
Yup. ไม่มีอะไรเหลือชิ้นดี
The historic Mandalay Palace, a well-known cultural landmark, suffered significant damage, with parts of its structure visibly tilting due to the quake.
我去，我世界末日啊！这简直是。
In the rural regions of Myanmar, the destruction was just as severe. Traditional wooden and bamboo houses, common in many villages, were no match for the earthquake's power. Entire neighborhoods were flattened and thick dust clouds filled the air. In mountainous areas, landslides were triggered, blocking roads and isolating entire villages, making rescue efforts even more challenging.
ตึกถล่มมาแล้ว
The impact of the earthquake extended far beyond Myanmar's borders, as strong tremors were reported in Thailand, India, China, and even parts of Laos. In Bangkok, the shaking was so intense that office workers evacuated high-rise buildings in panic. Security footage from a 30-story skyscraper under construction in Bangkok captured the moment it collapsed, causing widespread fear and prompting emergency response teams to rush to the scene. In China's Yunnan province, people reported furniture moving and chandeliers swaying as the tremors reached their cities. While no major destruction was reported there, authorities closely monitored the situation due to the risk of aftershocks. In India's Kolkata, residents felt prolonged shaking, leading to the temporary shutdown of metro services as a precautionary measure. Following the initial 7.7 magnitude earthquake, the region was hit by multiple aftershocks, the strongest of which measured 6.4 on the Richter scale. These aftershocks further weakened already damaged structures, causing additional collapses and hampering search and rescue efforts. Authorities in Myanmar deployed emergency teams to assess the damage and assist in relief efforts. The military, police, and firefighters were seen digging through rubble, searching for anyone who might be trapped.
Insan, alrurusan ini.
Temporary shelters were set up in open spaces, as thousands of people refused to return indoors, fearing another powerful quake. In Yangon, the country's largest city, people camped out in parks and public squares overnight, too afraid to sleep inside their homes. In rural and mountainous regions, rescue efforts were complicated by landslides, which made roads impassable. Helicopters and drones were deployed to survey the hardest-hit areas, and some humanitarian organizations airdropped emergency supplies to villages that had been cut off. Myanmar sits on the Saging Fault, one of the most active seismic zones in Southeast Asia. Experts say this earthquake was the strongest to hit the country in recent years, and geologists are now studying whether it could trigger more seismic activity in the region. Scientists have warned that further aftershocks are likely in the coming days and weeks, urging people to remain cautious.
Whoa! 我靠，还震啊！
As Myanmar begins a difficult process of assessing the full extent of the damage and rebuilding, the resilience of its people remains strong. Communities have come together, offering shelter, food, and support to those affected. It will take months, if not years, to fully recover from this devastating earthquake. The focus now is on restoring essential services, rebuilding homes and A massive earthquake struck central Myanmar on March 28, causing widespread destruction and severe damage to infrastructure, homes, and essential services. The tremor, one of the strongest to hit the region in recent history, was felt across multiple states and even in neighboring countries, leaving countless communities in chaos. The epicenter was located near Mandalay, Myanmar's second largest city, which has suffered extensive damage. Buildings crumbled within seconds, roads split open, and bridges collapsed, isolating many towns and villages from emergency responders. The quake's force caused panic among residents, who fled their homes and workplaces, seeking open spaces for safety. In Mandalay, entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble, with many historic temples, businesses, and schools suffering severe structural damage. Several high-rise buildings have partially collapsed, leaving debris scattered across streets and making rescue efforts challenging. Many districts are without electricity and running water, leaving thousands of people in a desperate situation. Communication lines have also been severely disrupted, making it difficult for authorities to coordinate rescue and relief operations effectively. The earthquake also triggered landslides in several mountainous areas, blocking key highways and cutting off access to remote villages. Emergency teams are facing significant obstacles in reaching these locations, as debris and damaged infrastructure slow down relief efforts. Several railway lines have been severely damaged, with reports of derailed trains and collapsed tracks in multiple areas. The disruption to transportation networks has further complicated rescue efforts, preventing the rapid delivery of food, water, and medical supplies to those in need. Rescue operations are in full force, with emergency teams working around the clock to clear debris and search for survivors trapped under collapsed buildings. Volunteers and local residents have joined the efforts, using whatever tools they can find to dig through the rubble. However, the scale of destruction has overwhelmed rescue workers, with reports of many people still awaiting assistance in hard-to-reach areas. The government has deployed military personnel to aid in relief efforts, but logistical challenges persist, particularly in rural regions where road networks have been completely destroyed. Medical facilities across the country are struggling to cope with the massive influx of people requiring urgent care. Hospitals in Mandalay and surrounding areas are operating beyond their capacity, with doctors and nurses working tirelessly to treat injuries. Makeshift medical stations have been set up in parks, sports arenas, and schools to accommodate the rising number of patients. However, the lack of essential medical supplies, clean water, and power outages has made it difficult to provide adequate treatment. Aid organizations have warned of the risk of waterborne diseases due to damaged sanitation systems, urging immediate action to prevent further health crises. Aftershocks continue to rattle the region, raising fears of further structural collapses in buildings that were already weakened by the initial quake. Experts have warned that more aftershocks are expected in the coming days, advising residents to stay cautious and avoid returning to damaged structures until they are...
不要，后面看，走。这个看见没有那个？那，这个没有看，把它摸到一边了，它不好吃。啊，你自己不要抱到人，不要抱到人啊！没病了，看一看。
待会儿把废墟清理一下，把那个布给它盖好，又埋回去了。
这个没关系，这样的没关系。